What's up guys, today I'll be breaking down the new Black Armory hand cannon from Outlaw 1 from the frames, Kindled Orchid. Now I'll quickly be talking about how to farm this gun as efficiently as possible, then also all the crazy random rolls that you can get on this gun, and the 3 main god rolls of this weapon. This gun can have rolls that no other hand cannon in the history of the game can, and some of these combos are absolutely insane, so let's begin. So first, to be able to buy the frame from Outlaw 1, once you've already done the powerful one for the week, you need 6 modulus reports. So what you want to do is go into the EDZ Forge because it is faster and quicker than the new Nessus one, and you want to farm up to 14 or 15 modulus reports because it caps at 15, and if you have 14 that's also enough. So as you see, every time you complete it you get 2, so that means you have to do it 7 times to get up to 14. Then once you have enough to buy hand cannons, you want to go ahead and buy the frame, and there's going to be 2 steps that you have to do to complete it before you can forge the weapon. The first being get 30 precision kills with a hand cannon, and the second being collect 30 radiant seeds. So what we do is go to the Dreaming City Lost Sector under the original Petra location. I believe this place is called the Strand, and in this Lost Sector, there is roughly like 40-ish ads you can kill, so if you get most of them headshots, that's already your 30 precision kills with the hand cannon. Then the second you get that done, you can go ahead and kill the Lost Sector boss, which drops 10 each time of the Radiant Seeds, so you don't have to kill him twice to get all 20. So this is definitely the most efficient way of finishing these 2 steps, because for whatever reason, these Lost Sector bosses drop 10 every time, and he does not have that much health compared to the wanted Lost Sector bosses on most of the planets. So that's definitely the best way to do that. So after you kill him the first time, you just want to reset the Lost Sector and kill him again to get the last 10 to get up to 20 of the seeds. So once you're done with that, you have to go back and talk to 801 to then complete the frame so it's ready to be forged into the actual hand cannon. So go ahead and fly back to the tower, talk to Ada, get the frame. Then the final step is complete the Gofanon Forge on Nessus, and that is what's actually then forged the hand cannon. So going over the entire process one more time, farm the EDZ Forge up to 14 or 15 modulus reports, buy the hand cannon frame, complete it, forge it, then go back, buy another frame, do it again, then go back and buy your 3rd frame, and do it again. Then at that point you will only have 2 or 3 modulus reports left, which means you have to go back to EDZ, farm that forge 6 more times to get back up to 14 or 15 modulus reports. And it's this never-ending cycle, and you want to be doing it that way because the EDZ Forge is much faster and, in my opinion, less annoying than the Gofanon one. And if you follow this method, you can do 3 hand cannons every 50 minutes to an hour roughly, which isn't too bad. I myself have already farmed almost 50 of these frames, and in those 50 frames I've gotten 2 god rolls myself. So let's begin actually breaking down this gun. Now the first thing I noticed when I was shooting it is it doesn't feel like a 140 RPM, even though that's what it says, and a lot of the other people that have been using this gun say the same thing. So let's actually compare it to an actual old 140 and an old 150 to see what is actually going on here. I personally felt like it was a 150 RPM even though it said 140, so let's go ahead and see. So it hits 1296 headshots. Now let's go ahead and shoot 10 shots and test how long it takes to shoot those 10 shots to test the rate of fire. So doing that, it takes 3.866 seconds. So now let's actually compare it to a 140 RPM to see if it's actually the same or different, and if it's just a placebo effect or not. So putting that one on, it still hits 1296 as you see. Now testing the rate of fire of this one, see how long it takes. It takes 3.901 seconds. So it's actually the same as a 140, it just feels better for whatever reason. Time to start breaking down the god rolls. The first one, Surrounded and Rampage with a surrounded spec. Then I also have Tactical Mag or Alloy magazine. Then mine also came with a reload masterwork, which is really good for this weapon. So the base damage of this gun is 1296. Now with Surrounded active, I hit 2054. So Surrounded with the spec on this gun is actually a 58.5% increase, which is pretty big. And all you need is 3 enemies nearby. This gun also has Rampage, so looking at the Rampage numbers, with × 1 I now hit 1551, with × 2 I hit 1829, and with × 3 I hit 2146. So the Rampage numbers are 19.7%, 41.1%, and 65.6%, so pretty normal Rampage numbers. So what happens when you combine the perks? Well, as you see, these are the numbers I'm hitting with Surrounded and Rampage stacks at the same time, and with × 3 I hit 3403, which is 163% more damage, which is absurd. So I like this roll a lot for a few different reasons. Number one, when you begin an engagement versus ads, at first you don't have any Rampage stacks, but you'll have Surrounded, so you'll have that 58% buff. Then as you kill ads, your Rampage stack will go up, but your Surrounded buff will disappear because you killed all the ads. So as you lose surrounded, you gain rampage, so you almost always have that 58 to 65% buff at all times. Then number 2, there's also those times when the perks overlap and you have this absurd buff. But the best thing about this perk combo is that you always have one of those big buffs at almost all times. Moving on to the second god roll, which is the one from the collections, it is Kill Clip with Rampage. Then I also have Drop Mag, then Extended Mag, which Extended Mag is a very bad option in my opinion for this weapon because it makes the reload speed almost 0. It makes the reload so bad. So I'm kind of forced with Drop Mag, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'm going to try to get used to it, and I think it'll work a lot with this weapon, obviously with Kill Clip. So I'm going to try to get used to it, but then I also have Stability Masterwork, which isn't great on PC, but could be pretty good on console. With Drop Mag, you just have to be more safe about when you reload. Then I also have Major Spec on this weapon, and I'll talk about that more later. So once again, this gun has Rampage, no need to break down the numbers again, we already talked about it. It's 19%, 41%, and 65%. Then this gun also has Kill Clip, so just with Kill Clip alone, the gun now hits 1981. So Kill Clip on this weapon is a 52.9% increase, so a little bit over 50%, which is pretty good also. So once again, what happens when you combine the perks? Well, you get a lot of damage. So with Rampage times 3, then reload, I now hit 3176, which is an increase of 145%, so not as high as the surrounded one, but definitely up there. So this perk combo is a little bit different than the surrounded one. This one is all about stacking the 2 buffs at the same time. Since you're always going to start off with no buff at all, you're then want to proc Rampage times 3, then whenever you see a high tier ad or a major or whatever, that's probably when you're the one to reload to then proc Kill Clip. That way you get the 145% increase for that fight. Which is also why I have Major Spec on this weapon, because this roll is all about stacking damage for the high health targets. But if you do not have a fast reload on this weapon, using something like Rampage Spec to keep Rampage times 3 procced between reloads is also pretty good. And then finally, the original god roll for hand cannons in this game, Rampage Outlaw, which you can also get on this weapon. Then he also has a few decent other perks, then also Stability Masterwork, which isn't great. Then he also has Minor Spec on this weapon. So we already talked about Rampage multiple times in this video, so the only thing different about this is Outlaw. So the base reload takes 2.806 seconds. Now proccing Outlaw, see how long that takes. Hit the headshot, go ahead and reload, time it again, and now takes 1.471 seconds. So Outlaw increases it by 90.7%, but the exact numbers of this reload will be different based on your magazine options and also your armor. This roll is also very good for its own reasons. The times you want this roll is when you're mainly fighting low tier ads and you don't really need all that extra damage and you just want fast reloads, just like Midnight Coup. So there's a bunch of red bars, you're then be able to get up to Rampage times 3, then reload really quickly to minimize your downtime of shooting. And that's about it. There's nothing too special about this roll, but it'll get the job done, just like Midnight Coup. So that's the 3 major god rolls on this weapon. Which ones do you have already if you've been farming? Which ones do you want if you don't have it already? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'm super excited to use this gun in the future because the PvE meta in Black Armory kind of like shifted a lot. Now everyone's using threat level, which is a kinetic shotgun, so now we need an energy weapon, and this is by far the best fit for that slot. The only thing I'm disappointed about in this gun is that it does not have Dragonfly. Most energy hand cannons do. I wish the Dragonfly perk was on either perk slot because you could either get Surrounded Dragonfly or Dragonfly Rampage. Both would be pretty good. But unfortunately, Dragonfly is not on this weapon. But we do have these 3 god rolls already, so Dragonfly would make it like 4 or 5 god rolls, and it'd be like crazy how much you'd have to farm and whatnot. So I think it's probably fine that it's not on the weapon. I do not have that Rampage Outlaw combo on my account. I do have the Kill Clip Rampage and the Surrounded Rampage as you saw in this video, and I'm not sure which one is my favorite yet. I just got the Kill Clip one literally last night, my last frame I forged, so I haven't really played with it that much, but it'll be interesting to see which one actually ends up being the best in the long run. And as of right now, I can't really tell. I think they all have their unique reasons why they're all good in their own right, so it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up over time. Anyways, the rest of the video will just be a little bit of strike gameplay with these 2 hand cannons. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.
I've been watching them from out here, but haven't seen it happen.
Important target, Guardian. Kindled Orchid.